Hi, I'm Alden. Today I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. You know, life has a funny way of coming full circle. 10 years ago, I was just a struggling entrepreneur with big dreams and an even bigger work ethic. I had nothing but a small office, a few employees, and a supportive wife named Victoria. At least I thought she was supportive. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I came home late, exhausted from another 14-hour workday, only to find half the closet empty and a note on the kitchen counter. "I can't do this anymore, Alden. Your dreams are consuming you, and there's no room for me. I deserve better than empty promises and a husband who's never home. Don't try to find me. Goodbye." Just like that, she was gone. No conversation, no attempt to work things out, just gone. I called her parents, her friends, everyone we knew. Nobody would tell me where she went. Eventually, her mother called and said Victoria had moved to Europe to find herself, and that I should respect her decision and move on. "Mrs. Peterson, please," I begged her mother. "I just want to talk to her." "She doesn't want to talk to you, Alden. She needs space." "Did she say why? Was there someone else?" "No, there wasn't anyone else. She just couldn't live like a ghost in her own marriage anymore. I was building something for us, for our future." "At what cost, Alden? She waited up for you every night. She rescheduled dinner reservations 5 times last month alone. The last straw was your anniversary." I winced, remembering. I'd completely forgotten our anniversary, too buried in work to even notice the date. "I'll change," I promised. "I'll make time." "It's too late for that. Let her go, Alden." What choice did I have? I threw myself into my work. That startup I was killing myself for, it exploded. Within 3 years, we went public. By year 5, I was worth 9 figures. Today, I'm CEO of the fastest growing tech company on the West Coast, with a net worth that makes financial publications use the B word. Life was good. Until last Tuesday at the Westfield Mall, I was meeting my business partner Derek for lunch at that fancy new restaurant on the top floor. "Hey man, over here." Derek waved from our table. I walked over and sat down. "Sorry I'm late, board meeting ran long." "No worries, I ordered us some drinks, so how'd the meeting go?" Same old, quarterly projections, expansion plans, budget approvals." "Must be nice having those kinds of problems," Derek laughed. "Remember when our biggest concern was making rent on that crappy office space?" I smiled. "Those were simpler times." "Not better times, though. You've built something amazing, Alden. You should be proud." "We built it, Derek. I couldn't have done it without you." Derek raised his glass. "To success despite the obstacles." "I'll drink to that." After lunch, I decided to check out that new electronics store on the 2nd floor. That's when I saw her, Victoria, standing by the fountain with 2 children, a boy and a girl, twins, around 9 years old, with my face. I froze. The kids had my eyes, my nose, my dimpled smile. There was no mistaking it. Those were my children. Children I never knew existed. Victoria hadn't seen me yet. I ducked behind a pillar, heart pounding. "Sir, are you okay?" A mall security guard approached me. "Fine, I'm fine," I managed to say. I watched as Victoria checked her watch and led the children toward the food court. I followed at a distance, mind racing. 9 years old. She left me 10 years ago. The timeline fit perfectly. I called Maya, my current girlfriend of 2 years. "Hey, you won't believe what just happened," I said when she picked up. "What's going on? You sound weird." "I just saw Victoria at the mall." "Your ex-wife, Victoria? The one who disappeared?" "Yeah, and she has twins. They look exactly like me, Maya. They're mine. I know they are." Maya was silent for a moment. "Are you sure?" "Positive. They're about 9. The timing fits." "What are you going to do?" "I don't know yet, but I need to find out why she hid my children from me for almost a decade." "Do you want me to come meet you?" "No, I need to think. I'll call you later." I ended the call and continued watching from a distance. Victoria and the kids sat down with a man around our age. He put his arm around her, kissed her cheek. Husband, boyfriend. The kids called him Uncle Marcus. So not their father, at least not in their eyes. I took a deep breath and approached their table. "Hello, Victoria." She looked up and her face went white. "Alden." The kids looked at me curiously. The man, Marcus, tensed. "Aren't you going to introduce me?" I asked, eyes fixed on the children. Victoria's hands trembled. "Kids, this is an old friend of Mommy's. Alden, this is Ethan and Emma, and my brother, Marcus." Her brother. I remembered him vaguely from our wedding. "Old friend? Is that what I am?" I said quietly. Marcus stood up. "This isn't the place, man." "You're right, it's not. But somewhere, Sometime we're going to have a very long conversation about why these children look exactly like me. The twins looked confused. Emma tugged at Victoria's sleeve. Mom, who is he? Victoria grabbed both children's hands. We're leaving, now. Running away again, Vicky? It's what you're good at. Marcus stepped between us. Back off, Alden. You're making a scene. A scene? You haven't seen anything yet. 10 years, Victoria. 10 years. Victoria hurried away with the children. Marcus lingered. She had her reasons, he said, and I'd love to hear them. Here's my card. Tell her to call me by tomorrow, or my lawyers will be reaching out instead. Marcus took the card. You've changed. So has she, apparently. She's a mother now. To my children. He didn't deny it, just nodded and followed after Victoria. I sat alone at their abandoned table, my mind spinning. The realization that I'd missed 9 years of my children's lives felt like a physical pain in my chest. First words, first steps, first days of school, all stolen from me. My phone buzzed. Maya again. Did you find them? She asked. Yeah, I confronted her. And? What happened? She ran, again. I took a deep breath. Maya, those kids are mine. I could see it in their faces. They even have that weird double crown in their hair like I do. What did she say? Nothing. Just introduced me as Mommy's old friend. Can you believe that? The father of her children reduced to an old friend. What's your next move? I'm calling Jennifer right now. This is going to court. I called my lawyer, Jennifer, immediately. I need your help with something urgent, I told her. What's happened? I just discovered I might have 2 9-year-old children that my ex-wife never told me about. Jennifer was quiet for a moment. That's significant. Do you have proof they're yours? Just my eyes. But trust me, one look and you'd know too. We'll need DNA tests. I can file for an emergency hearing to compel testing. Do it, whatever it takes. And Jennifer, money is no object here. I understand, I'll start the paperwork immediately. The next morning, I got a call from an unknown number. Alden, it's Victoria, we need to talk. Yes, we do, my office, 2 o'clock. I can't just 2 o'clock or I go directly to court, your choice. She showed up at 1:55. My assistant escorted her to my private conference room. Wow, she said, looking around at the floor-to-ceiling windows and city views. You really did it. No thanks to you, sit down. She sat across from me, fidgeting with her purse strap. The twins, are they mine? I interrupted. She hesitated, then nodded. Yes. Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant when you left? I didn't know then, I found out a few weeks later. And in the 9 years since, you never thought I deserved to know I had children? Victoria looked down. You were struggling so much with the business. I knew you'd try to make it work for the babies and you'd resent me, resent us for holding you back. That wasn't your choice to make. You were obsessed with success, Alden. You had no time for me. How could you have time for children? So you robbed me of the chance to even try? You robbed them of their father? I did what I thought was best. Best for who? For you? Certainly not for Ethan and Emma. They've had a good life. I've given them everything they need. I laughed bitterly. Except the truth. Except their father. I was going to tell them eventually. When? When I was dead? When they were adults with kids of their own? Victoria's eyes filled with tears. I made a mistake. I see that now. A mistake? A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This was a calculated decision to keep my children from me for nearly a decade. I want to make it right. We can work out some kind of arrangement. An arrangement? I leaned forward. Let me be clear. I'm filing for joint custody, at minimum. I'm demanding DNA tests to establish paternity officially. And then we're going to have a very serious conversation about the past 9 years of child support you've deprived them of. We don't need your money, Victoria protested. It's not about need. It's about right and wrong. It's about what they're entitled to as my children. Please, Alden, can't we discuss this like reasonable adults? Was it reasonable to hide my children from me? Was it reasonable to let them grow up without a father? She had no answer for that. I have resources now, Victoria. Resources you can't imagine. And I will use every last penny to ensure I'm part of my children's lives from this day forward. That night, I met with Maya at her apartment. She opened a bottle of wine as I paced her living room. The DNA results should be back in a few days, I said, not touching the glass she handed me. But we all know what they'll say. What did Victoria tell the kids about their father? Maya asked. She told them I was dead. My voice cracked with anger. Dead. Like I never existed. That's terrible. What kind of person does that? Someone who only thinks about herself. I finally sat down, exhausted. I've missed so much, Maya. 9 years. How do you get that back? She placed her hand on mine. You don't, but you have now. You have the future. And I'll make damn sure Victoria pays for stealing my past with them. What are you going to do? A cold smile crossed my face. I've already started. Called my old college roommate Jason. He controls the development projects Marcus's construction company is bidding on. Those contracts are about to disappear. Alden. Maya looked concerned. Don't let revenge consume you. It's not revenge. It's justice. 3 weeks later, I had my first supervised visit with the twins. The social worker, Miss Chen, brought them to a neutral location, a community center with a playroom. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Emma, I said nervously. It's nice to see you again. Ethan nodded shyly. Emma studied me suspiciously. Mom says you used to know her a long time ago, Emma said. That's right, we were very close once. Were you her boyfriend? Emma asked bluntly. I glanced at Miss Chen, who nodded slightly. Permission to be honest within limits. I was her husband, actually. Emma's eyes widened. But Mom told us her husband died. I'm very much alive, as you can see, I said gently. Your mom and I lost touch for a long time. Why are you here now? Ethan asked. Because, I took a deep breath. Because I just found out about you two, and I want to get to know you. Why? Emma demanded. Because family is important, and we're connected, whether we've known each other or not. Are you rich? Ethan asked. You look rich, I laughed. I do okay. I work with computers and technology. I hear you're interested in coding. Ethan nodded eagerly. I'm learning Python at school. That's impressive. I started with BASIC when I was your age. What's BASIC? He asked. An old programming language. I'm practically a dinosaur. That got a smile from him. Over the following months, our legal battle was swift and decisive. DNA tests confirmed what I already knew. The twins were mine. I secured joint custody and began building relationships with my children, who gradually warmed to me, especially when they discovered our shared interests in technology. Meanwhile, I quietly ensured Marcus's construction company lost its major contracts. Financial troubles cascaded for Victoria and her brother. When I heard through my sources that Victoria had to take a second job waiting tables at night, I felt nothing but satisfaction. Karma, I told Maya when she expressed concern. She's experiencing what I did, missing important moments with the kids because she has to work. Don't you think that hurts the kids too? She asked. I hadn't considered that. They're with me half the time now. I make sure they have everything they need. Except a mother who isn't struggling and stressed. I brushed it off, but her words stuck with me. Eventually, circumstances forced Victoria to move to Phoenix where her sister lived, leaving the twins with me full-time. 2 months after she left, she sent a flash drive with videos and photos of all the moments I'd missed. First steps, birthdays, school plays, along with a letter acknowledging her wrongs. I didn't forgive her. I never would. But my children had been loved, and now they had both parents in their lives, even with one at a distance. The twins moved in permanently. Maya joined us. We became a family. My empire continued to grow, and I made sure my children would want for nothing, including my time and attention. Victoria calls them every Sunday from Phoenix. She's working 2 jobs there. The twins sometimes talk about visiting her. I don't discourage it. They need to form their own opinions. As for me, I got what I wanted. My children, my success, and the knowledge that Victoria lives every day with the consequences of her choices, while I live with the joy of the family she tried to deny me. Life really does come full circle. I sometimes wonder, though, if you discovered someone had kept your children from you for years, could you ever truly forgive them? Or would you, like me, make sure they faced every natural consequence of their betrayal?